Hello, and welcome to Common Sense for Uncommon Times. I'm Robin, and I'll be walking you through some various ideas for the hard times that we're facing ahead. But first off, I'd like to go ahead and just say what we're not. We are not a political site at all. It doesn't matter what your political stances are, or parties, or affiliations, or what have you. Nor does it matter what your belief systems are at all. This is for every person because every person will be affected. Our channel is basically just to go through what we're seeing on YouTube from The Economist, and in various other areas as well, and what they're predicting for these next few years, as far as where our economy is going to go and what kind of financial issues we could be facing. Also, especially like in stock market, real estate market, and also in jobs. And I think it's real important to protect ourselves ahead of time. And it's really almost too late now. So now's the time to really get going on this. And we'll be covering, quite a few different ideas for that. We'll also be covering what to do if we don't know how emotions or stress or frustration is going to affect our neighbors or our fellow citizens during these times. And so you need to kind of be prepared to take care of your, family, your area. And to also be cautious when you're out and about in other areas or other locations away from home. So we'll be covering that as well. We'll be listening to some of The Economists, have some short clips on that, and we'll be, just like I said, going over all the various things you could do to prepare yourself and to be ready in the worst case scenarios. And because, of course, what we want to do is we want to prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and, go ahead and come out on the other side happy, healthy, and a little wise. Okay, so again, first off, I just really want to emphasize that this is not a political site. Political comments are not acceptable here. Comments that will actually help, where you're bringing your ideas to the table as far as things, ways you can prepare and such, are more than welcome. Political commentary or anything along those lines, hate speech, that sort of thing is not welcome here. And if that's what you like to do is start controversy, you're just on the wrong channel, because it's it's just not necessary here. This is specifically to help people and nothing more than that. So first up, I would like to go ahead and just briefly cover what I'm hearing from various economists throughout the country on what we can expect. They all seem to be on the same page, which is really scary, because I do like to hear, periodically someone giving it a different opinion. And but I'm not. I'm hearing primarily the same thing over and over again, that we have been living on a bubble, and the bubble is getting ready to burst. So that would be in the stock market, in the real estate market, and also in, oh, I lost my train of thought. See, these things happen. And in various other areas. Anyways, so first let's talk about the stock market. This has been kind of known that it's been riding a little bit too high, and especially for, although our economy has been good, and so that's great, it still has been running a little bit higher with the proposed tariffs that may go into effect this next year. This will affect that particular bubble. It will cause that bubble to burst. And what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is that the bubble could burst to levels worse than the Great Depression, most certainly worse than 2008. This would cause kind of a ricochet effect because it will affect the job market as well. As you know, in 2008, when everything started crashing, people started losing their jobs because this is just something that goes along with everybody starts having to cut expenses and so on. So you start seeing job loss. The other bubble is, of course, the real estate market. And this is really scary because I've been actually looking at this bubble for the last several years that, it is a bubble. It was going to burst. The housing prices went up far too fast. Basically, it was artificially increased through, property investment firm or, organizations or companies. So, most of the houses that are priced so very high they're just not worth that amount. They've just been artificially inflated by investment companies, and I quite honestly I thought it was going to burst a few years back. I didn't think that it would last this long, but it has, and so now we're looking at that. On top of that, again with proposed tariffs, most of our lumber and stuff actually comes from Canada. That is going to impact the building of new housing, and it's going to cause a housing shortage, which is going to make the rents go up, because with the shortage of housing, then, the rents will go up because of supply and demand. As people start losing their homes due to the bubble bursting, and foreclosures start occurring as they have before, those people have to rent somewhere. So now a larger influx into the rental market will occur. And again, supply and demand. The more demand there is and less the supply, the higher the price. So that could be expected. As we see jobs being lost, we're going to see more people homeless because so many people are already on the edge to begin with, and one more thing like this will just send them right off the edge. So there's also some solutions for that as well. Not permanent solutions, maybe not even the perfect solution for all people, but for some, there are some solutions that might be able to at least help in that manner. As all this is going on, we're going to have to learn to be kind to each other and to understand each other's experiences, rather than being cruel to someone because they are homeless. Maybe recognize that you yourself could be a mere month away from it. So we're going to have to really readjust how we treat each other, because we really need each other to get through this. We're going to have to help each other the best we can and work together on solutions instead of more problems. As the old saying goes, cooler heads always prevail. That's going to be a necessity. We've got to try to keep our senses. We've got to try to just be as calm as we can as we get through this. And that is easier said than done, given that, one of the biggest stressors is finance. When your finances start going, that's when things get really, really tough. There's also some other areas that kind of flow into all of this. The talks of Social Security reduction, privatization, or just doing away with it altogether. That would be a concern. Health insurance, be it the Affordable Care Act or Medicare or Medicaid, that's going to be a concern in these next few years. And we'll kind of get into those types of things a little later. But I think right now what I'll go ahead and do is stop here. And because I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of this channel so that you would know what to expect from it. And next week we'll come back and we'll cover a little bit of these bubbles I was talking about, and then start delving into some ideas. There are some, very important ideas. And I said next week, next episode. Quite honestly, I'm not going to be on a weekly schedule or everyday schedule. I'm just going to kind of do it as things come into my mind that might be helpful, because that's what we need to do. We just need to help each other. So I'll go ahead and end it here. If you have any questions, please do leave a comment. If you would like to give your own suggestions for episodes, please do that as well. Definitely give us a like and a subscribe. That always helps so much, especially when you're just new and starting out. So I will be back, I'm going to imagine, probably within a day, because I'd like to kind of get the important stuff rolling, the preparedness really rolling for you guys, because it is a little late to get started. Quite honestly, I was seeing this coming. I've been working on it for about 6 months, and so the sooner we can get everyone somewhat prepared, the better. At least that way you're kind of covered. So, anyways, I will be back again in about, let's say 24 to 48 hours. And I do appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit, because it is just a little tidbit. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. And subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you. Bye-bye.